Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, so let's dive in. Welcome to another episode of the Pretty Confident Podcast. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, and I am so excited to be here. What's up, you guys? Y'all didn't even tell me that, one, my hair was not as cute as I thought it was the last 2 weeks, and two, that I had my dates all mixed up, okay? I'm going to blame it on pregnancy brain because legitimately, I was like, oh, is this the last episode of January? No, it can't be the last episode of January. And then, the first week of February in that episode, I was saying that it was the last week of January. So my days and weeks were completely messed up, especially because I recorded those 2 episodes in the same day. But nonetheless, we are here the second week of February. So thank you all so much for being here and giving me your time. Okay, new listeners, welcome. I hope you enjoy and I hope you find a home here. I hope you find a community. There is now 102 episodes out there to go listen to. Maybe not watch, because I did start the visual journey of the podcast a little later, in the episodes. I think I didn't start posting on YouTube until episode 51, and then I think I went visual episode 70 something, so somewhere around there. Nonetheless, 102 episodes are out there to listen to, especially on all audio platforms, so there's Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. So thank you so much for being here, and hopefully you find a home in several videos, episodes, whatever that you like and you can resonate with. That's one of the number one thing that I want to make sure I do on this platform, is find an audience that cannot, one, understand me, but understand me in their own way, because there's certain things that I go through and there's certain messages that I'm going to have based on my own circumstances and outcomes and experiences. But there's a way that you can take that same outcome and that same lesson that I'm learning and apply it to a different area of your life. So that's that on that. All right, so thank you so much for being here, new listeners, OGs, returning listeners. Thank you so much for returning week after week. Y'all know that episodes drop every Tuesday, audio platforms, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then the visual drops every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. I've been trying to do a lot better with that. Now last week, y'all, YouTube was, I don't know what YouTube had going on, but all I know was it was not trying to let me upload. So I think that one, I tried to schedule that a day ahead and it just would not go. So that is why I need to keep my consistency. That is why I need to record ahead of time. That's why I need to edit ahead of time. That's why I need to go ahead and start to schedule these things to post out at a specific time ahead of time. That way, when the time comes, I'm not trying to, scramble around and still post the stuff. And then it ended up coming out late last Wednesday. So yeah, but anyway, we are trucking along. We are in the second month of the year already. January felt so long though, so I don't think I'll put already. Like, January did take a little minute to get her tail out the door, but it's okay. That gave us enough time to figure out what we needed to do, what we needed to change in our routines or in our day-to-day, activities, to make sure that we are reaching and striving for those goals that we set at the beginning of the year. Okay, and if you thought I forgot, keep thinking, keep guessing, okay? Because your girl has not forgotten. So I hope you all, if you are doing the quarterly planning and following along with me, I hope you all are doing your daily tasks, planning out your week by week. And at the point in time that I'm recording this, I am 27 weeks pregnant. So we are getting closer to Miss Girl's arrival date. I cannot wait until she gets here. That is just so, I just get so happy. It's just kicking and moving a little bit more. So I'm like, oh, ooh, ee, ooh, ah. I cracked myself up. But I told my husband earlier today that I just have to get used to her moving more, because I'm not used to her moving as much, because obviously she was so little and my placenta's on the front side. So if she did move, she was probably hitting or kicking that. So yeah, you guys, there's a lot of stuff I got going on over here. So I hope if you are somebody like me that has a lot going on, you are managing and taking time to decompress and de-stress yourself, because if not, you're going to blow a fuse and you're going to be running on fumes, and nobody gets the best version of you. Especially you don't get the best version of you when you are running on fumes and not filling your cup back up and running off of that. Okay, All right. So, like I said, I hope you all are doing good. I hope you all are feeling fine. It is February. What Valentine's Day goal, like things do you all have planned for your significant other? I don't think we'll do anything. I really just want to relax. And I think it's on a weekend. Is February 14th on a weekend this year? I don't know. Yes, it is. It is on a Saturday. Well, y'all know that means everybody and their mama are going to be outside, okay? And I don't like being around a lot of people. No, thank you. So maybe we'll just, do something inside. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so anyway, I hope I am able to get multiple videos out today. That is one of my goals. And I really have to scale back on my weekly goals as far as like for the podcast, because I was writing down my weekly planning stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna record a podcast here, record a podcast there. And then by the time I'm looking back on the week, I'm like, dang, I said I was gonna record 4 podcast episodes this week. Does that mean that's not manageable or doable? No. But for me right now, that's not where I'm at. And my weeks are so busy sometimes. And obviously this is not my only job. I got a 9 to 5, so I have to do that first. And it just depends on how I'm feeling, either during the 9 to 5 that I can do the episode during my lunch, or after my 9 to 5 if I feel like doing an episode after I log out. So it's completely, I do things completely based on how I feel and if I have time. So yeah, so hopefully I can record 2 episodes today. So hopefully you'll see, the same thing multiple times, and the same outfit multiple times. Y'all didn't even tell me that my little necklace was looking a little crazy. Okay, sometimes when I watch this stuff back and I listen to it back, I'm like, that's not in the right place. I just hate that you didn't see that. So that's definitely me. All right, I hate when something is out of place or out of line. But as far as my hair, like I said, I finger shingled my hair for the first time since I've cut my hair. And in the last 2 episodes, I just did not like it. Like, it looked good in person, like when I was looking in the mirror, but maybe it didn't look good when other people was looking at me, and it definitely didn't look good when I was on camera. So I was like, I did not want to post those videos, but I was like, the show must go on. The show must go on. Come as you are. If they laugh at you, oh well, it's already out there. Anyway, just try again next week. So I just did my normal wash and go, and your girl is returning with the grease. Okay, this is not going to be I'm not going to be defluenced. Yeah, defluenced from Blue Magic. Blue Magic, she got a spot in my hairline up. So, I just put some grease on my hair this morning with a little bit of moisturizer, and we are rocking and rolling. So I actually like my hair, so hopefully it looks good on camera, because we can run into something else where I'm saying it looks good, I think it looks good, and then when I watch it back, it's like, girl, no, not so much. But nonetheless, the show is going to move on. All right, so thank you so much for being here, giving me your time. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and hop right into this episode, because why waste time, okay? I know y'all see the episode title, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so this episode, I wanted to touch on not letting a man tell you more than once that he don't want you, okay? Us females, we are really good majority of the time. We're really good. We're better communicators than our counterparts half the time when it comes to telling people what we want and what we don't want. And that is one of the things that I will say our counterparts do the opposite of. They will send subliminal messages as to what they do or don't want to do when it comes to being in a relationship. And us females, we take that, we analyze it, and then we just store it away. Like, no, we need to be using that to analyze and interpret what they are trying to say, instead of throwing it away in the back of our heads. Because 9 times out of 10, that's going to hurt us. That's going to hurt us more looking back and realizing, like, oh yeah, these were the little messages that he was sending, and I should have picked up on it, but I decided to ignore it. Yeah, you decided to ignore it. So you understood what was going on, but you decided to ignore it. And sorry if y'all can hear my fan in the back. I'm just a little hot. And even though I got this little sweatshirt on, I love it. Like, this is so cute. It's like a 2-piece set, but I don't have the bottoms on. I just wanted to wear the top. So yeah. But anyway, it's going to hurt you more when you look at it down the road and you're like, oh, well, he did tell me things like this. He did tell me, stuff like this. And instead of me taking it and realizing what he was saying, I just ignored it because he wasn't coming outright and saying it. Most men are not going to tell you outright what they do or don't want. Some guys will, and we respect those guys more than others, but the guys that don't say what they want up front, or they don't say, when the dynamic of the relationship is changing, or if they don't want to move forward, it's a little bit more difficult, okay? So they send subliminal messages, and you're the one who has to decide, okay, is this something that I want to deal with? Is this something that's confusing me? Is he trying to, figure out where we are in a relationship, or where we are, individually together as a couple? Like, what are we doing? Okay, so that's number one thing that I think almost all females, we may have a similar story in that way. So yeah, I think if a man says that he's not ready, baby, take him at his word, okay? I feel like women, we always try to get to the bottom line of things. Like, oh my gosh, well, let me grab my notebook and paper and let's talk about it. Sit in that chair over there. Let me analyze and let me interpret what you're saying, and let me, be your therapist into, what you're actually saying and what's your end goal. Tell me why you're not ready. I'm ready. Got your pen and paper up there with your legs crossed, waiting for a man to tell you why he is not ready to be in a relationship with you, why he is not ready to have kids with you, why he is not ready to take the next step in y'all's relationship and propose to you. We are so adamant on making a man tell us exactly what the issue is, instead of taking him at his word and understanding that, okay, this means that he does not want to move forward with me, especially in those type of milestones, right? So I think majority of the time, if you ask a man, because I'm not going to say don't ask a man why he's not ready, because that just negates all types of communications and understanding, like trying to understand your partner. And that is something that I'm very keen on. But if you ask him why he is not ready, and the first thing out of his mouth is, I don't know, you need to be searching high and low for that door, because he knows. And whether that's because he doesn't want to tell you to hurt your feelings, or he doesn't want to tell you because he doesn't want to cut off the type of relationship that you all have built, it could be a multitude of things, okay? So y'all need to be asking why, not looking up and trying to grab pen and paper and, well, you're not ready because, your mom did this, or your dad did this, or this is why. Why are we trying to diagnose? Why are we trying to create a therapeutic environment to make the man feel like he can still move forward with you, even though he feels this way? I don't understand that. So if he tells you he's not ready, he's not ready. If you ask him why and he says, I don't know, he knows why. He just doesn't want to move forward with you. And that's perfectly fine. But when you take that, you move on, you're like, oh, well, we can still do X, Y, Z until you're able to tell me why I'm still going to be here. Men are not going to fight you. They're going to do what they want behind your backs and then let you deal with the aftermath if it comes up, or when they have the gall to tell you exactly that they don't want to be with you. Okay, I was listening to this one podcast, and the guy, he was saying that he's like very straightforward with women that he was seeing. And I feel like if more guys was like this, it would be a lot easier for you girls in the dating pool. I'm not saying me, because I am married. I feel like it'd be a lot easier for the girls in the dating pool, because a lot of guys will play around like, oh, this is what I want. I want to settle down. I want to do this. I want the big house. I want the picket fence. I want the family. I want the love. I want the fame. They will sell you that dream as if it was theirs, that they were wanting. But truly, they are not ready to settle down. They still want to run the streets. They still want to bed hop. Okay. But when I was listening to this podcast and this man was saying that, no, he's not married. No, he's not in a relationship. But yes, he has a daughter. He was saying that he said that he was somebody that was up front in all of his relationships. So he said that if he was, fooling with a girl, or a girl was wanting to get to know him, or whatever the case may be, he would tell them up front, I am not in the headspace, or I am not in the era of my life where this is what I want to do, but I do find you attractive. I would, do X, Y, and Z with you, but this is what you can expect out of me. If more guys did that, I feel like we would have so much respect in men and taking them more seriously, because it's like the men that tell us these things, it's like we can't even screen them to see if this is true until we've put in X amount of time to figure out, was this guy just put on a show to, get me, or was he serious? We have to put in time to be able to see that. But if a man was more truthful and honest with females up front about where they are in their life, are you somebody that wants to settle down? Are you somebody that just wants to screw around? If you are not able to decipher that, and tell somebody that, you are not somebody that needs to be in this relationship. You are not somebody that is ready to move forward. But I feel like more guys rather cheat and scheme, especially with females, because they know the females that they want. If they were to tell them, this is the type of relationship that I want to have, I don't want to settle down, that they would not get them. So because females are like, no, this is what I want, and majority of the time, we stick to what we want. But at the end of the day, there are females that settle for less than what they want because they're so afraid or annoyed of being alone. If we were to hold more guys accountable, there would be less women to take advantage of. Okay, so that is why I feel like majority of the men will not be upfront, okay, with you. So take that because take that and put time limits and put, time frames on certain things that need to happen internally for you. Don't let this other person know that, because then he's going to make sure he does it by a specific time. All right. But make sure it's realistic and make sure it's something that aligns with who you are and what you want. Don't give people timelines based off what other people say, what other people see, and how it worked for somebody else. It may not work for you. Okay. So I don't know. I would definitely respect a man a lot more if he were to come up to me and be like, hey, you're cool. We've been talking for a while. I just want to let you know, I'm not looking for a relationship. I truly mean that. If you're willing to take this relationship towards this type of, left field, then I'm more than willing to keep that open with you. If not, cool. But a lot of men, like I said, scheme and cheat. So men know exactly what they want. Like my man, he knew exactly what he wanted when he met me. And I was talking to his sister the other day. She was like, you're the first girl that we've ever met, and the first time the first time he brought you up, when talking to us, he told us he was gonna marry you, and we were like, we don't know. And it was very early on in our relationship, and I was like, oh my gosh. He was like, yeah, I just knew what I wanted. Men know. Men don't need 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years to know if they want to have a baby with you, to know if they want to get married to you, to know if they want to get married to you after you have their kids. Having somebody's kid is a husband, privilege, okay? Y'all are giving these boyfriends and non-boyfriends babies. They are literally ripping. Okay, the baby, when they come out, they are literally ripping you inside out. Ooh, I went to a birthing class and I saw a birth for the first time, and I was like, my Lord, can I imagine myself doing that for somebody that isn't married to me? No. You're telling me I'm putting my body through this catastrophic change? Because they said after the baby is born, it is a plate size. Y'all know how big a plate is? Of a hole, of a gap left in your, left inside until your uterus retracts and goes back down. Crazy. And y'all are doing this for people that won't even commit to you as far as a piece of paper. It's ridiculous. Okay, so like I said, don't let them tell you, well, I'm not going to say don't let them tell you, but if they tell you they're not ready and they don't know why, take that as a sign. If you want to test the waters a little bit more, test it. But there's going to be another sign where this man tells you he doesn't want you, or you're not the girl that he wants to be with. Especially if he starts bringing other girls up in the conversation, or asking you what you would do in this situation, or how you would feel if he did this in subliminal messages. But I feel like, if you play the, oh, well, what's wrong? Why isn't this? And why don't you feel that? And tell me your whole life story. Tell me why you think this comes from. Do you think this is stemming from your mom's side? Do you think this is stemming from your dad's side? When you start doing all of that, I feel like the man feels like he got you. He done sunk his teeth and his fangs and his claws into you because you don't want to let him go, even though he's not ready. So then I feel like that gives him the motivation to be like, oh, okay, well, I'll still have her in her corner, even though I'm not ready. She'll probably wait for me. So I'll go do this on the side. I'll go do that. We're not officially together, or, oh, she knows that I don't want to go this far. So I'm just going to do what I want on the side. Blah, 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 blah. And if you wait for him to give you the perfect answer, because majority of the females, we're more in tune with our emotions, and most of the time we know how to communicate those feelings and, emotions, that we're just looking for the perfect answer from them. So if they know that you're waiting on the perfect answer in order for you to truly leave them alone, they're going to have the time to lie, manipulate, and cheat. Okay, so sometimes those reasons that they want to give you after, you've given them time to sit on it and think and talk to their friends about what they should tell you, you're giving them time to manipulate you into feeling bad for them, into staying until they know when they're ready, until they know this, until they know that, because they don't want to be alone either. So females don't want to be alone because they're too tired and too lonely to wait on the right guy. And the guys don't want to be alone because they may know that they're never going to get another good female like you. So really start to put the pieces together without somebody having to tell you this is the picture that this person is painting. All right, men know what they want. Okay, they are not children and they are not projects. Stop looking to mother these boys, especially if you haven't given birth to one. If you have not given birth to somebody, do not look to parent them. I am so confused on all of these females that decide to look for projects, look for people that need all this fixing and all this uplifting. Why? Their mother had the chance to do that and they didn't. So why do you feel like that is your necessity to take on? Why do you feel like that's, one of the chores that you must take on to build this man up into this? No, take a man that is willing to do that for himself, and then you can add, a little value here and there to his self progression. But when we are seeing somebody at the bare minimum, at the very bottom, and they're not putting any work in for themselves, why do you feel like you have to be the person to motivate this person into becoming this? No, thank you. You can be putting that time and energy into yourself and making yourself better, and you'll be putting that time and energy into your partner that is truly meant for you once he comes and finds you. Save that energy, because by the time that man come and find you, you're gonna be worn out and not wanting to do anything. All right, so at the end of the day, stop trying to change these guys. If they really wanted to change, and if you were the person that they wanted to change for, they would. And you would be so surprised. Like, a lot of people say that, and I honestly, growing up, would hear that a lot of times, like, oh, a man will know exactly if they want to marry you within the first few months or the first year. A man will know, or a man will change for you if he truly feels like you are the person that he wants to change for. Okay? It's not because you weren't the perfect person or the perfect partner that he changed for somebody else. You were just not the person that he wanted to change for. All right. You could be great in all the things that you are as a female, but because you're not the person that he wanted to be with, that is why he did not change. That does not diminish who you are and your value as a person and as a female and as a partner. Because I feel like when they see, like, a female sees their ex go and be a better man for another female, they think, well, what was wrong with me? What did I do? There must have been there was nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with you. That connection just wasn't there, and who you are as a female just probably wasn't aligning with who he wanted to be with in his mind. So stop blaming yourselves. I feel like females, like, we have to do better. We have to do better, and that's why I wanted to bring this up, because I feel like a lot of females stay because they want to see the outcome so bad, so freaking bad. If you want to see the outcome so bad, so be it. Okay, if something better comes out of it, so be it. But I will not wait around, and I did not wait around for my man to be like, oh, okay, you stayed with me since ground zero, and and I could have had X, Y, and Z, but we still chose each other. And, it's been 10 years, and I finally want to marry you. And I'm not waiting that long. You know how long? I could have went back to school 2 times over and gotten a doctorate degree probably before this man was ready to marry you. 10 years? What are we doing? What are we doing here? You gave this man 2-3 kids and we're waiting on him to say that he's ready to marry you. Like, you turned your body inside out multiple times. See, I don't know. So I really hope that you women out there, you girls out there, you guys figure out your self-worth earlier rather than later, because I feel like if you find out earlier, there's less bullshit that you'll put up with. There's less stuff that you'll tolerate from people. There's less relationships that you'll keep around for the sake of. Okay, so yeah, that is my message for the day. I'm not going to hold nobody up because, like I said, I'm hoping to get a couple episodes out of today. But if I don't, it's perfectly fine. But I just definitely wanted to bring that up because, like I said, my females, most of y'all are going out sad. Y'all are going out sad. And I'm sad for y'all. And I'm just like, thank God I got mine. He says all the time that he would have found me, and I just don't know. But I mean, shoot, a true love and universe, like soulmates exist, so be it. He's mine, I'm his, and we're gonna keep doing this thing. And I got a baby on the way, okay? With somebody that does not play about me, with somebody that didn't waste my time, with somebody that treated me right the first time. Oh, that's the biggest thing. Y'all be waiting until these men cheat on you 20 times before you're like, oh, okay, well, and then when you finally end up pregnant, it's like, well, he's changed now. Yeah, but he played with you 20 times before he changed. I'm not taking that relationship serious. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff. I just feel like we have to do better. We have to stop making men feel like they are the prize in every scenario. Like, they are, well wanted just as much as we are. But there's more that we can do. When a man brings you a house, you make it a home. When a man brings you sperm, you make a baby. Like, we multiply things that the men bring us. So if he brings us shit, we're going to make bullshit. Okay. So just realize that you are somebody that is worth waiting for. The right man is going to find you at the right time. And you won't have to ask him to treat you right the first time. He will want to give you the world and more. So yeah, you guys. So I love you. I hope you all took something from this episode. I hope this encouraged a girl that, was kind of holding on to a relationship, not because it served her, but because she didn't want to be alone and she's scared of being alone. I hope you take this episode and realize that you are not alone in your alone state. Okay. You are being pulled away from things that are causing a disservice to you, from things that are distracting you from what really matters, and from things that are blocking the next blessing. That is what you are being pulled away from. But as long as you stay, the longer you delay. Ooh, the longer you stay, the longer you delay. That's going to be the title of this episode. The longer you stay, the longer you delay. What can come after? What good can come after? But because you're so familiar with what this is and what is going on, and you can navigate this chaos, this is not normal. Navigating chaos is not normal and should not be normalized. So the longer you stay in the chaos, the longer you delay peace, okay, love, longevity with somebody else, whether that's just with you and understanding who you are in this season and relearning who you like as far as yourself, learning who you are as a person, what you like, and what you will and won't accept going forward. Okay, so yeah, the longer you stay, the longer you delay. And with that, I'm going to peace out before I try to find something else profound to say. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for tuning in to the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection. It's about embracing who you truly are. So until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace out.